And here is my larger female, Brachypalma albopilosum. And she gave me no threat whatsoever when I took her out. Very sweet. She was also one of the first teas I bought. I think I got her with the Vagans. The very first tea I bought was the Portery, and then the P. Moranus, and then the Vagans, and then this one came with the Vagans. I think that's when I got it. So this one I got probably in late 2011, and this is how big. And she was an inch specimen then, and as you can see, since 2011, she's late 2011. This is how big she is now. So yeah, about 4.5 inches, something like that. Pretty slow growers. But she's going to live a long time, assuming, you know, she stays healthy. I'll probably have her till she's in her 20s. I mean, my goodness. I can't get over how long they live. But don't you just love their cute, fuzzy appearance? It kind of gives them that cuddly look. Like this, I call this like the teddy bear of the tarantulas. Yeah, this is the teddy bear. She's been maybe a little defensive once, but I think it was more of a hunger strike than a defensive strike. She eats really well. She rarely denies food. Isn't she beautiful, though? That shiny copper carapace. Let's see if she'll let me pet her. She liked it when I was stroking her with the paintbrush earlier. But, sorry, this camera's just don't have a good tripod anymore. But yeah, see? She lets me pet her too. Just do it gently, because that's where their heart is. You have to be very careful. Don't press too hard. Just do it lightly. Yeah, she was good with that. See, she's pretty laid back too. She's easy to handle because she's not crawling all over my back or anything. Alright, I'm going to give you a cricket for your troubles too. Very easy dismount. Now I'm going to see if she would like a treat for her troubles. For putting up with me handling her. Like I said, folks, I do not handle my teas often. Whoops. Well, that was a good cricket. Now it's gone. Here's a good one. You want this? Get in there. Oh. Well, it's in there somewhere. She'll get it. You've seen her eat before. She loves it. But, yep. Looked like she was about to turn around and get it, but, she went away. Yeah, she'll get it. Alright, we'll let her go. She can enjoy her treat in peace. Alright, let's see who else we got. Now last time I tried to handle my Aphonopelma seemani, she turned around and faced the tongs. So that told me right there that she was potentially defensive. So I did not handle this one. I'm going to try again and see what she does. Just lightly tap them. Okay, so far so good. If they don't move, or if they move slowly forward, then they're more likely willing to allow you to handle them. But because I've never handled this one before, I'm extra cautious. They can be skittish. They're not really known for being defensive. They can be, but any tarantula can be. So far so good. So I'm going to attempt to handle her, and let's see if I can get away with that. I do not have a tripod, so I have to kind of experiment here. Now let's see if I can touch her with my hand. She felt the heat of my hand. So far she's been cooperative. Now as soon as I start seeing her chelicerae spread too much. It's also got this paintbrush here to kind of block her if she decides to turn around real quick. I'm watching very carefully. So far she's laid back. See, with tarantulas you gotta move very slowly. You know, the slightest quick move will cause them to go spazzo. Come on, honey. Come on. There. There we go. Yep, first time I've held this one. Suspect female. She didn't act defensive at all. That's when you know it's safe to hold your tea. But I do not recommend you hold any old world, because if you do get a bite from them, you'll be in a world of hurt for a few days. At least with the new world, yes, it's going to hurt pretty bad, but it's a pain you'll get over much quicker than with the old worlds. And these fangs are not the size of the Theraphosa fangs. I do not hold the Theraphosas either, even though they're new world, because of the size of their fangs is just insanely huge, and they're very skittish, and their urticating hairs are terrible. But these guys here are not really known for their defensiveness. If anything, they're skittish, but mostly pretty laid back. But yes, this one allowed me to, so just like with the portery, I'll have to just be careful with this one. Keep in mind, every time you hold your tarantula, you're always at a risk of getting a bite. And no, I have never been bitten yet. I've been asked that a few times. Now don't jinx me now. I'm going to get this one a bigger enclosure because I think with all the, and more substrate as well to burrow in. These guys seem to like to bulldoze and burrow a lot, so I'm going to give this one a lot more substrate next time and a larger enclosure. Alright, sweetheart. Would you like something to eat too, huh? You gonna let me pet you too? Yeah, there we go. Yeah. See? As long as you respect them, you're in good shape. There, there. That's my baby. That's my baby. There. Alright, let's get you something to eat, honey. And of course, the hard part with getting them to dismount is they're sticky. You know, their claws that stick to you, so you have to be careful and not pull their leg. You just have to kind of nudge them. Now, let me get you something to eat. You were just so sweet. They must have told you I was giving out free treats to the tarantulas that were nice to me today. You want something, honey? Here you go. Get you a little treat. Alright, will you enjoy that? Alright, who else would like to pay us a visit? Remember how I said that instead of flicking hairs at you, this avic just lets it fall off when they're disturbed. So I don't know if you could see this or not, but if you barely touch, a whole bunch of hairs fall off. I barely touched it, and a whole slew of hairs came off. That's his way of being defensive, so I'm going to leave him be. This is the Urticans. So, yeah, that's how they do it. Instead of kicking them, like the other New Worlds do, these guys just let the hairs fall off. And I got a little bit on the paintbrush, but yeah. I was hoping he'd come out and visit, but he's definitely not willing, so we're just going to leave him in there. And I'm sure everyone recognizes this sweet girl. This is my Grammostola pulchripes. And this one is always sweet. Oh, she may have just made a liar out of me. See, that goes to show you that any tarantula that is capable of being defensive on you, even if they are typically docile, you could catch them on a bad day. Now, that wasn't really, it wasn't what I would call highly defensive, but it was a little bit defensive. When a tarantula turns around and faces what touched it, that's a sign of defense. So sometimes I'll go ahead and give them leeway if they do that, depending on the tarantula. So I'm going to try again. Let's see, look at that. Yep, she's a little irritated. Look at that. Look at that. Proof right there. She has always been docile with me. She's the one that has let me handle her the most, without giving me any grief. This is the first time she's given me grief. So see, that tells you right there. If a tarantula lets you hold it all the time, don't be surprised if one day you catch them in a bad mood and they bite you, because it can happen. So yeah, she is not in a happy mood right now. She's not being as defensive as my OBT is, but she's in a little bit of a threat posture. So yeah, proof right there. All tarantulas are capable of biting and being defensive, even ones that are usually nice. Just like with people, you know, we all have our good days and bad days. This happens to be her bad day, so we're going to respect that, and we are not going to handle her today. But I just figure this is a good lesson to teach. Alright, let's check on someone else's mood. So I had forgotten that I left the molt of my Huntsman David Bowie spider in there, and I'd forgotten that it was the molt, and I was like, oh great, I've already killed my David Bowie. But lo and behold, there he is. That's what they like to do. They like to kind of hang up top sometimes and scare you. So let me get that molt out. And the substrate's too dry, so I'm going to wet it down and put some food in there. But yep, there you go. I'm not going to handle this one, even though it's probably too small to give me a significant bite it would be very difficult to catch if it were to get spooked. So, alright, we'll leave it at that. I'll let this one be the last one I do tonight. This is the Euophlus species green. I already touched the abdomen, and no signs of defensiveness at all. Of course, this one has a tendency to just come out on its own without any provocation. A little adventurous spirit here. You gonna come out and say hello, huh? I got a treat for you afterwards. You wanna come out? Hmm? Come on. Come on out and say hello to us. Hi. Come on. See your green femurs. I'm sorry I have to put that in your face. But I was trying to look at the green. It's just so dark. Yeah. Would you like to come out and say hello? Like you did last time? Now these guys can move quick when spooked as well. But other than being skittish, I'm not really aware of these being defensive. Would you like to come out? So your relative, the blue, did not want to come out. But how about you? Would you like to? I got a treat with your name on it. I'm going to do this segment in honor of one of my friends, Abigail Corinne, because she is a Euophlus enthusiast. So this is going to be done in her honor. In fact, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. If this one turns out to be a female, I'm going to name her Abigail. That's what I'll do. So, hopefully you're a female. I suspect this one is, but I don't know yet. He or she's never molted for me. I don't know how large these get right off the top of my head, so I don't know if it were a male, if the tibial hooks would have already been showing in the bulbous pedipalp. So, I think this one's still got a little growing to do. Oh, look, webbing. Are you coming, huh? And let me raise the light a little bit. I don't want it to get too close. There we go. There. Hi, sweetheart. I don't know if I can get I've tried to get a ventral shot before, but it just hasn't come out very well. Look at that. Isn't she precious? She's almost like a puppy dog. You call her and she comes to you. Hello. I'm glad I got her. I'm going to call you a she because of wishful thinking. I thought we'd end the video here with this beauty. Look at that webbing there. Now, I'd rather you not get on that dirty stuff. As you can see, the abdomen is not dark yet, so it is not in pre-molt. See, it's still kind of that fleshy colored there. No pre-molt. You just have to look at this one just in the right light to tell that it's green. I mean, it's almost like a gray, but like I said, you have to see it in the right light. You gonna let me touch you? Yeah. She feels the heat of my skin. Would you like for me to hold you? Let's see if she will. Well, she crawled over my hand. Does that count as a handling video? Now look at you. Are you going to crawl up on that? For those of you who insist on your tarantulas living in a large enclosure, I think the Euophilis can do that and be happy, because they do like to roam around. Now, I don't think I want you on my dirty floor. Might be all kinds of little buggies on that floor. Yeah. I don't think I want you there. Nope. Alright, well, I just wanted you to see this beauty here, and that's all for now. Unless something comes up or someone asks me to do a request video, then the next one you will see will be the September shoutouts and the big feeding video. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Say bye-bye. How dare I forget? I meant to give her a treat. Oh, you gonna hitch a ride? Okay then. Or y'all gonna be buddies first, huh? Alright, well, I'll leave it in there. She'll get it. Alright guys, thanks.